Put on, welded. Kind of did a little different than what I. Now I'm not gonna leave these big old gigantic. Just let me know that the 14 gram variator weight. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I am not gonna be sitting and sitting on this bike later. That'll be on this one where you drill some screw and flip, and they're always missing the floorboard. We are missing the battery cover. That's common. What I want to do is see will this thing fire up and will it run. This thing must have just had an oil change when he parked it. Went around checking all the VIN numbers and everything matches. Even let me go ahead and bust these panels off, guys. And hey gang, welcome back to Scooter Rehab Lab. I got another project up on the table. I got a 2011 VIP Future Champion scooter, a little Chinese scooter. Yeah, short case. I picked this thing up, I want to say about a week or two ago. Found it in the guy's back. Well, found it on OfferUp to be exact. And the guy was asking $100 for it. Normally I wouldn't pay that much for a pile like this. I mean, it's missing the seat, it's missing the rear luggage rack and the panel in between the luggage rack. But this thing has a clear Nevada title. And scooter season is warming up again. And this year I see the prices are way up and people are actually getting what they're asking for. So hey, why not? $100. It's doable. It's worth about $100 in parts anyway. I just walk around this thing. As you guys can see up top, the seat is missing. The rear panel here is missing. It has a gas cap, thank God. I think the old boy said this thing has been sitting for 4 or 5 years. He couldn't remember. But it looks like it's been sitting 4 or 5 years. Now, this scoot does have the quarter panels on both sides, and they're in okay condition. I can see here on this one where he drilled some screws, probably to hold the centerpiece, which is now gone. Which I shouldn't have too much trouble finding one of those, or the rack. This quarter panel on this side is, I mean, it's rough. There's a tab broken there. No big deal. But for all in all, it's not cracked. Doesn't look like it's been laid down too hard. Yeah, some scratches in there, but nothing bad at all. Now this is a 50cc, but I got some plans for it. We're going to customize this thing a little bit. And we have both signal lights are busted. This one is completely gone. And this one just missing a lens, which I think I do have a lens somewhere. We'll cross that bridge when we pass it, but check out this engine, dude. It is dirty. There's spider webs up in there, everything. Gotta be careful and look out for black widows. But hey, it has the airbox. I buy scooters all the time to rehab and flip, and they're always missing the airbox. They got some little cheap little paper pod filter up here that just clogs up and junks, you know, clogs up and starves the motor out for air, and it don't run, and they end up selling to me for little or nothing back then. But yeah, has a floorboard. We are missing the battery cover. That's common, and it's also common for this piece here to be missing, that little access panel. We're missing both quarters, I guess lower rockers. We're gonna call them rockers. Missing both rocker panels on both sides, and this front fender piece here is broken on this. It's broken, no big deal. And front suspension is all there, it's complete. Tires didn't look half bad either. They didn't rock hard, but they're there. And the fender is here. That's usually always missing out here in Vegas, or they're broken. This one is cracked a little bit. Once again, no big deal. I can take care of that. Now, Up front, I do notice there's no light bulbs in there. No, I don't see the harness or nothing. The bolt is missing, so I'm hoping it's just laying inside there. I haven't really looked at this thing, guys. I mean, like I said, I can get all the parts pretty cheap, so I'm not worried about it. And we have a signal light cover lens missing right here. That one's there. That's cool. Alright, this side of the quarter panel here is, she's scratched up, so I'm assuming this side is the side they lay it down on. Well, look like they laid it down on both sides, or they had problems with tight spaces. Alright guys, this is it. So with this video here, I want to do a will it run style video. Let's check this oil real quick. Basically what I want to do is see will this thing fire up and will it run. And then of course we're going to get into customizing it. Oh, it is full of oil, actually over full. But hey, it's okay. Let's check that oil out. Hold on. You guys can see that? This thing must have just had an oil change before when he parked it. You know. Well, dang. That's cool. At least he took care of it. I did notice, I went around checking all the VIN numbers and everything matches. Even the VIN number that's on that plate there matches the frame, so it's cool. I mean, it hasn't been molested, it's been wrecked. So that's a different story. Alright guys, now the speedo is fogged up. That's very common out here in Vegas, but we can buff that out. Now, it did have a set of keys with it, but I noticed any key will turn that, so I don't know what's up with that. But let me go ahead and bust these panels off, guys, and we're gonna see what we're working with up under the skin. Alright, be right back. Okay gang, I got the panels off, and this thing is filthy. I do believe this thing has been sitting for at least 4 to 5 years, like the old guy stated. I mean, that dirt is just in there. It's everywhere. And on top, so I see a ground wire here that was added. It's an extra ground wire. But usually people bolt them right to the head. Somebody added extra. Must have had starting issues, so they added the extra ground wire. Here's the ground wire that runs to the battery. It runs into the head. Here's our power wire, and just look at that, a whole bunch of rat turds. Yeah, I hope I didn't bring that little sucker home. I hope not. We got cats around here, he wouldn't be too happy. Well, I don't have cats, the neighbors do. Alright guys, now I got the front panel off, and yep, tell me what you notice. Alright, the whole back of the ignition is missing. And I don't see it in here. Or do I see the pigtail for the ignition? Oh, I think this is it. Okay, this is the headlight, so yeah. Here's the pigtail for the ignition. So I'm assuming, oh well, look at that. There's a hole there. Somebody cut a hole in there. I'm maybe assuming that he would put the ignition wire down like that so they could hot wire it. Well, here's the hot wire. I'm not understanding what I'm seeing, guys. This is the power wire to the bike, but it's not in the harness. Oh, it was. Okay. It broke out of there. Alright, well, cool. Cool beans. I can fix that. Now this wire here, all taped up. Sorry guys, my camera action is off today. Now, that wire is all taped. It was melted and taped. So I'm assuming that if he was hot wiring it and patched into the wrong wire, because this one is melted too on the end. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you guys how to hot wire scooters because obvious reasons. But hey, looks like he just cut an access hole here, and I'm assuming that he went in through the glove box to crank it, you know, to tie the wires together so he could take off. I don't know. Hey, he had a title and key, so I'm assuming maybe something happened to it and he had to do what he had to do. Alright guys, but other than that, everything is pretty much here. Now I noticed the headlight harness for the dual headlights is missing. That could be a problem. Okay. Alright guys. Well, I want to see how many miles, can't talk. I want to see what the mileage is on this real quick. Let me grab something. Grab a bottle of wax and a rag. And if you guys have foggy headlights and speedos, that's all you need to do to get them clear again. Just need a little bit of wax, and the wax I'm using is just some Meguiar's Carnauba wax. Any wax will work. I mean, hell, you can actually put chapstick on it and buff it out with your hand and it'll work. It just needs moisture. So let's see. Let's buff this out real quick by hand and see what our mileage is. Oh, kilometers. These Chinese bikes are in kilometers. Alright, see that there? Came right out. Okay. Now, looks like our mileage is, well, kilometers is 8,053 kilometers. I don't know what that translates into mileage, but I want to say like 6,000 miles, something like that. Or 5,000, I don't know. I'll look it up later. Alright guys, so yeah, this is what we're working with. Alright, well, let's check the gas tank. Gas is sitting there for 2 years. It cannot smell great. Give it the old Smith test. Yeah, that smells not too bad, but it stinks. Alright, here's the fuel filter. Let's clean that puppy off and see what there's something in there. It's not black. Okay. Yeah, I would expect this gas to be like complete varnish for 5 years. Maybe he was using ethanol free. We do have a place here in Vegas, the Maverick gas station sells ethanol free fuel. Okay. That doesn't look too bad. Well, let me go rob a battery off the Yamaha and see will this thing turn over. See will it fire. Let me gather those things together and I'll be with you in a sec. Okay, gang, I was about to vacuum out these rat turds when I noticed the fuse laying down here. Yeah, and I'm not sticking my hand down there. Let's see, is it blown? Yep, that is blown. Well, you know, sometimes when the fuses blow, guys, just kind of pull the ends out of the fuse housing and stick them together. And that'll work. That'll get you out of a pinch, you know. Blown fuse, you don't have one with you, but you don't want to leave it that way, you know, because whatever blowed that fuse could cause you some problems. Burn your wiring harness up. You know, so this red wire runs back in your harness. Hold on. This red wire here runs all the way back into your harness, and it runs back up this way. Now, if that thing were to have a short somewhere in your system, that, you know, why that fuse blew, and it ran all the way up your harness, you know, back up into here, up into the front, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna be looking for a new wiring harness. And I'm saying sometimes you do things and you blow the fuse. I understand, but you don't want to leave it that way. If you like say for instance you arc the battery and you blew the fuse, you don't want to leave it that way. Alright guys, I'm going to vacuum out. I'm going to go ahead and vacuum out these rat turds. We're going to drop in the battery. The one out the Yamaha, the overcooked Duralast battery that needs to jump box every time. Okay, let's go ahead and turn that up. Cover your ears, it's going to get loud. Alright, it's all sucked out now. You can put the battery in with less chance of getting the plague or the hantavirus or something that we don't want. Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to put the phone down for a second, grab my impact. I'm going to hook these batteries up and drag the jump box out because this thing is not going to turn over by itself. Okay, got the battery installed and it's all hooked up to the Make It Start 2100 over here. So we got signs of life. There is lights right there inside the speedo. We got a horn. Let's see if we got any signals. Probably no right signals because I think they both busted. Yeah, that side's missing the bulb and that bulb is not working. Let's check the right side. Do we have a bulb over here on this side? Oh, that bulb is missing too. Let's check up front here. Oh, we got one bulb. Okay. Let's see now. We don't see make any noises. What's it turn over? Nope. Hold on, let me grip the other handle. Grip the other brake with my hand. It's the fail safe. Oh guys, no bueno. We got no starter on the switch. So that could be a bad starter solenoid. Yeah, it could be something to do with this right here. That wire has been chewed through, so oh, has it been burnt? I don't know, it looked like the wires got smashed and arced. So yeah, it looks like we got a bad starter solenoid. I have one, I think, laying right here behind me. Let me see. And I do not. I seen one yesterday, but okay, no worries. We can just, all right, my leg is stuck. Let's just arc across the two 10mm nuts on top of the solenoid. Make sure the motor's not locked up. Well, we didn't hear no starter or nothing, so let's see. It's turning over, but sounds like it's either got hella compression or she dry. I'm gonna go for she dry. By looking at the rest of this thing, she be dry. I didn't think to see if we had any tail lights. You guys see any tail light back there? I don't. Alright, so we're gonna need bulbs. All of them, except for one signal. Alright guys, let me get that spark plug out of there. Shoot some old lube juice down in the cylinder. And see will that help it spin over. Alright, give me a sec. Alright, let's pull this spark plug out of here and Shoot some old PB blaster down the throat. Alright, we got an NGK for a spark plug. Oh, judging by the color of the spark plug, she was running pretty good. Alright, we're heading in the right direction. Let's see, can I get some of this PB blaster down in there? Oh man, that's gonna be difficult with one hand. There we go. Get a nice little stream going down in there. Get some lube up on them rings and cylinder walls. Alright guys, let me step out of the way. Let's arc this sucker back out and see what she spin over any better. Now what I did do is I turned my jump box up to 40 amps. Maybe that'll help. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah. Turns over like a dream. Well, okay, well since we got the spark plug out, I guess we can go ahead and test spark. I'm trying to find a place to lay this. You guys can see this spark and I can too. I don't know where. Let's see. Let's see if I can wedge it right there. Let's see if we got any spark. Hey guys, we got spark. We got spark on the old plug. On the old Dusty Dirt VIP. Alright guys, let me put you down for a second. I need to get this spark plug back in. Can't do it with one hand. Okay, the spark plug is back in and I hooked up the coil wire back to it. We got spark, so let's see. How does it turn over now? Now it has some lube in it. Much better. I just hope we didn't mess up those cylinder walls turning that thing over and it was dry. Okay, well, hey guys, this is gonna be a quick really run, I guess. Let's grab a can of carbon choke cleaner. Go ahead and pull off the intake here and the air cleaner tube. Shoot some of this up here and see what it runs. Okay gang, the air box is off and you ain't gonna believe this, but I live in Vegas, man, and it's starting to rain. You can't tell by my yard. Yesterday, well last night, it poured for 3 hours. It's not soggy, it's just as dry as it was before it started raining. But you guys look up at that sky. Those clouds are rolling back in, and that one right there is peeing on me. Well, that one right there is peeing on me. Okay, well, let's make this quick. I'm gonna have to go out, look across the front yard. I can tell if rain is coming. Or we're just getting a little shower for now. Let's shoot a little carbon choke in there. See, can we get this sucker to bark off a little bit? Oh, it tried. Okay. Oh, we got a live one. Okay, guys, let me see if is that fuel any good? In fact, y'all look in there and tell me if the accelerator pump is working. I don't know if you guys can see it, but see something, yeah. I don't know what you guys saw, but let's see, is it pumping anything? Is that gas any good? I don't think so. Well, she is firing, but I think she's only running off of what we just squirted in there. Let me grab a screwdriver and press the little choke up so I can get some juice down the throat. Let's see, where's my screwdriver? Alright, give me a sec. Alright, I got my my flathead shoved in there sideways, so should hold that diaphragm up just enough to get it up. Let's try that again. It was not quick enough. You know, somebody's probably saying, don't spray the carbon choke, it's not good for it. You've seen this bike? Alright guys, I'm gonna go out on a limb to say that carburetor is gummed up and this gas probably is no good. It's no bueno. Well guys, we heard it fire just a little for a second. We know it'll run. I mean, the guy said it ran one part, and you know how many times I've heard that, and that was a lie. The engine be locked up or all kind of craziness. But yeah, man, I mean, it's not a bad bike. Now, what I am noticing, I don't know if you guys can see it. The wheel is locked in straight. The bike is straight. But the handlebar is kind of cockeyed that way. So, I think one of them times he laid it down, he bent the triple tree. Yeah, it's not really noticeable, but you'll definitely feel it if you ride. Yeah, I think that triple tree is bent, guys. I mean, it's that way. It's cocked pretty good. Just look at another way you can tell how hard they hit the ground is by looking at the handlebars. The ends of them, when they smack them hard. I mean, yeah, he laid it down on that side. Same markers on the other side too. Okay, this is the side he laid it down on. That doesn't make sense to me, because you would think laying it down on that side would cock it that way. I don't know, but this side is this brake lever is gouged pretty good. There's some real good gouging on those grips. And the scratches on this side are much bigger, so yeah, that may have been the crash that bent the triple tree. Alright, well, shoot guys, I got off work a couple hours ago and I am tired, so I'm gonna head on in for the night, and I'll be back on it first thing in the morning. Be 1 second for you guys. So I'm gonna wrap this stuff up and put it in the house, because it might rain. I don't want to get caught out here with all this out. So alright, see you guys in the morning. Okay gang, it is the next day, or shall I say the next day in the afternoon. Well, I was going to come out here on the bike and get started this morning, but left my house at 9 and I've been busy ever since, and it's like after 5, probably 6, I really don't know. I think I got about an hour or less of daylight. You can tell it's kind of dark around here. You know, the shadow has made it all the way across my yard, and the sun is no longer here. So, but today's not a total waste. I went out today and I got an ignition lock set for the Scoot. You know, I do have a key for this ignition, but you remember the backup is busted out and the rest of the pieces are not there, so we just went ahead and decided to change the whole thing. Ignition lock, this is the glove box cylinder, and I think this one is the trunk cylinder. And over here I picked up a brand new CVK carb. Even though I doubt it's a real CVK, because this quality is worse than a a real or a normal CVK. You can see there, man. This one is actually looks a whole lot better on the casting. This thing looks like complete junk, even though CVKs are junk, but this one looks worse. So, all right, guys. Well, I was going to get started, but I'm hearing hissing from my truck. I ran out there and I got a hole in the sidewall on the inside of my tire. So, well, was going to get started. So, I guess I have to see you guys again tomorrow, which is basically a second for you guys, but it's going to be a whole bunch of tire changing, running to the tire shop for me. All right, be back in a sec. Okay, gang, I got lucky. I ran out and changed the tire on my old truck. You can see by my hands. Put my spare on, and I came out in the backyard to look for my gas can to go get some gas real quick, and then I realized, hey, it's enough gas in this gas can from the last, from the Yamaha bill. You know, putting this tank to get this thing fired up. I thought I didn't have any because I usually pour all the gas into my little GMC right there. Anything left over, you know, that's my work in progress. It's gonna be on the road next week. If you want to check out some videos of the C10, or from where it came from to where it's at now, you can go check out my other channel, Cliff's Backyard Garage, on YouTube also, and see how far this little truck has come. I have done a lot of work on this thing, man, but it's going to have to make a return to the other channel real soon if you already are subscribed to that channel. All right, but back to this thing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the fuel line off and drain the tank, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull this carb off. We're just going to check it out and swap it out. So let me go ahead and get to doing that real quick, and I'll clue you guys back in. The old carb is off and the gas is being drained. So I'm going to go ahead and slap on the new carb. And I don't know, I probably should have picked up a new intake. I don't know if you guys can see this. Now, let me move around a little bit for you. Probably should have picked up a new intake, man, because that thing is dry. Yeah, I'm going to hit it with some PB Blaster to help me get it back in there, because yeah, it's a little tough getting it off. But yeah, let me put a little lube up on that sucker and try to slide it all back in. And hopefully by then that gas will be drained. I mean, the gas, oh, well, shoot. It's pretty much gone. Let me hold that against my big belly. I think it's empty. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Gas is drained, and it don't smell good, guys. Trust me on that. It stinks. Had to close my back door of my house, man, because it was filling it up. All right, let me slide the carb on. We're going to put some gas in this sucker, and we're going to at least try to get it fired up before I call this thing call it a night. All right. I got gas in the tank. The new carburetor is installed. I went ahead and pulled off that old cruddy vacuum line. Where was that? Here it is. Yeah. This thing actually had like a pin or something in it to make it longer. Man, I don't know. Whatever. But we're going to replace it with this clear line. I had enough left from the Yamaha build, I think, to do all of this. I have a new filter too that came with something else that I bought. Carburetor, fuel pump or something. I'm going to throw that on there, but we're going to use it for right now. Now, I want to go ahead and suck on into this tube and fill the bowl up on the carburetor so we can get it filled up. Kind of just simulate the vacuum that this fuel pump will go through, and also to make sure it's working. Just give me a sec. You guys can see that gas going in there. All right. It's gonna keep going until the filter is full. Alright, that bowl should be full now. Go ahead and run my vacuum line back over here to the intake. Now guys, I don't do tutorials, man. I'm just kind of showing you guys, you know, my life of what I like to do for fun, you know. Alright, let me hook up the old jump wire up in front real quick so we can try to make this thing bark off. You guys give me 1 second. Okay, it's all hooked back up and we got fuel in the bowl. I'm going to just hit the well, I don't know what to call it. We're just going to try to prime, see if the jets on this new carburetor work, so I can prime up that engine. I hope you guys can see that. Probably not. I don't see nothing squirting, but oh well. Let's just try to hit this thing and see what she fire off. Make sure the switch is on. Switch is on. Alright. Let's give it a little helping hand. Let me get some of this carb and choke cleaner. Just might need a little squirt to get it going. Alright. Try not to set no fires back here today. Fired up. I might want to move these gas cans, man. Just say we're not setting fires today. Let's see, can we get smoke coming out the tailpipe? Okay. Alrighty. Let's see what's going on with this carb. Yeah, it's getting hung up. Let's go on the side. Let's see, it's getting hung up on something. That's probably why. I don't know what it is. You know what? It's probably my bad, guys. I accidentally hit the button and stopped recording for a second. But yeah, I know what's hanging it up. I see what it is. I ran into this problem before. Okay, you can see my throttle cable is kind of out of there, right? And every time I do that, the throttle cable goes out and doesn't retract. So, oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe it just doesn't want to go that way. All right, never mind. But what I was going to say is, you see that? Let me get you in there. See that little white plastic deal right there, the rod, and it has that little metal tab riding right on top of it. Well, I've ran into some of these carburetors sometimes that the friction on there is too great and it hangs the carb up. When that little rod is going, up and down. Now I've had to grease those before, so if you get a sticky throttle sometime, check that. You know, it's not always in your throttle, your hand control. So, all right, let me see if I can just pump this thing up from this side. Screwdriver, and let's arc this sucker and see what we got. Come on, baby, come on, come on, come on. Oh yeah, it's running. It's running. We got a little smoke out the tailpipe, but that could be that PB blaster that we put in the cylinder. You would expect it to be worse. Okay, off tops I can hear the valves up here just rattling. Sounds like connecting rod too. Yeah, this is I'm gonna let it warm up for a sec. A little bit more smoke coming out. Like I said, I hope I didn't hurt it from the dry start, but I'm not really too worried about it. Because I went ahead and took care of that just in case I did mess it up. Let me show you guys what I got going on. Alright guys, just in case I screwed that thing over while I was out today, I picked up a replacement bottom end, or replacement cylinder. Got the gaskets and everything, head gasket, a new wrist pin, new cylinder, and piston. And there's a base gasket in there too. That's actually two base gaskets. Got the head gasket, a base gasket, and there's another base gasket in there. Looks a little different though. This one has writing on it, the other one doesn't. Oh, we'll check it out. Yeah, let's let this thing warm up for a sec, guys, and we'll give it a couple revs on it. See if we can get it now. I just saw something sparking. This ground is down in here, just arcing away. I got my jumper cable hooked to that side, so I might have something to do with it. I don't know. Yeah, she revs. And she smokes. It's smoking better now. Worse, better, you know. You know what I mean. Hold on, I'm doing another burnout on my table. Yes, I am. Oh, God. Alright, guys, I'm gonna let this thing run for a minute. And, like I said, because I can hear some noise inside the motor. I can hear a little tapping from the lifters, the rockers, but there's a distinct sound right inside the engine that sounds like it's knocking. Sounds like the connecting rod is knocking on the crank. I don't know. It sounds horrible. Alright, let me let this thing run for a minute, guys, and I'll get right back at you. Don't want to bore you with this. Alright, gang. I just remembered I can remove this plate when I want to rev this sucker up. So, yeah, I just let it wide open throttle for a second, and the smoking has kind of stopped. But I think it might come back if I rev it again. Yep, it's starting again. So, let me let you guys see what I just saw. I gotta close my back door, man. That smoke is going right for it. Yeah, buddy, I think I kind of screwed up the cylinder on that when I dry crunk it, but hey, that could have been a problem too. I'm not gonna completely blame myself. Oh, one other thing I wanted to point out, guys, this thing has two different sets of wheels. It has that little alloy wheel there, which is a little neat little wheel, and a steely up front. That's crazy. Oh, guys, it's starting to kind of idle up a little bit. The smoke is going away as long as I'm not revving it. Well, actually, the smoke is getting a whole lot better. Huh. That's crazy, guys. Alright, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and cut it for the night. I'll be back on this thing first thing in the morning. We're going to go ahead and, since it's running, I guess give it a test run, you know. Running, test run. Sounds like the thing to do to me. Alrighty. Now, since the ignition doesn't work, I'm going to have to figure out how to cut this sucker off. Oh, never mind. Kill switch. Well, I wasn't thinking. I'm tired. That's my... Yep, like I said, that's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. I'm tired. Guys, the sun is going down. The street lights are on. And I still feel like a little kid. I think when they come on, I should be in the house. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll come back out here once I drop the kiddo off in the morning, and we'll get right back on this little thing. I ain't gonna say bad boy, because right now it's a piece of junk. But a piece of junk we're gonna try to make some money off of once we refurbish it. Alright guys, let me stop jaw jacking. That's a sign of me being tired, and I'm going in the house. See you guys in a sec. Okay gang, I'm back. It is the next morning. Actually morning time this time. I'm getting started on the bike. Bring you guys up to speed to what I have done in the last few minutes off camera to catch you guys up. Alright, you see all the plastics are gone except for the plastic on the handlebars. Yeah, so I go ahead and pull all of those off. Got them laying in here over here on a pile. So, you know, I can start the custom paint job I'm going to put on this bad boy. Well, those custom paint jobs really help them sell, you know, they grab their eyes. Alright, you can see I got the seat bucket back on with a seat. Well, this is not the seat that came with it. I actually took the seat off that came with it and stuck it on another bike that I was getting ready to try to get out the door. And told myself, yeah, no big deal. I can just wrap this one and, you know, it'll be all brand new again. This one came off the other bike that I was selling. This is my first attempt at wrapping a seat, guys, and just to tell you, it didn't come out so good. You know, everything is fine back here, you know, all this material, it would have tucked in fine, no problem. Well, what I run into my issue is right here. Now these seats, some reason, man, I can't get it to tuck in without having these folds. So I'm admitting defeat on this one. I'm bowing out, bagging out, and I'm just gonna go drop this seat off to somebody who knows what they're doing, because it is not me. So, but anyway, moving on. I just had to point that out for somebody who dropped it in the comments. All right, now you see, guys, I got ignition in here. I went ahead and put the ignition in and took care of the wiring problem. Lower this thing down. Alright, that's good. I took care of the wiring problem on the ignition harness, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, when you buy ignitions off of eBay or anywhere for that, you know, for that matter, make sure the wire colors line up, okay? These things most of the time are plug and play, but if I would have hooked this thing up the way the wires were already pinned inside the harness, it would have been more like a plug and pray, because it would have been some smoke. This one is kind of like it had the green wire, which is the ground, running to the red. That's a no bueno, man. That thing would have smoked and cooked on me quicker than nothing. So, alright, like I say, just watch that when you're buying these cheap eBay ignitions. But I went ahead and located that starter solenoid, guys. Yeah, it wasn't too far away. I actually had it in that bin right there. Just didn't see it when I first opened the door, but I got it. And now the old scoot. See, it's working. The signals are back on. Let's see, will it start up? Oh, I gotta grab the other handlebar. Hold on, guys, give me a second. Walk around this bad boy real quick. I'm gonna have to lower it down. Alright, give it a pump. Clasp this handle with my armpit, and let's see. Yeah, is it even on? Oh, there we go. Didn't have to switch on. There we go. Alright. She fires up. I'm about to play around with the safety whatever switch on the brake, because I gotta pull this thing all the way back to here for it to start. Weird. It's all good. Alright guys, I'm gonna go strap on the old GoPro, and we're gonna run this sucker up the alley real quick and see how it runs. Alright. Okay gang, I'm in the alley. Gonna get this bike a little run up the hill, and we're gonna run back down. I got my Speedo app on my phone. because I just noticed as I was coming over here, the speedo is not working on the bike. Probably a bad cable. I'm hoping it's just a bad cable, but we got it hooked up to my app, so we put this thing in my pocket and we'll come back. We'll be able to see what the max speed is. And here's the max speed from the Zuma. That's why I say that thing is going to need some tuning, and we'll get to that one on another episode for the Zuma. But let's go run this thing up the hill real quick and let's see what the top speed on this sucker is. Make a left here. That was a quick uphill, downhill run. I'll make a left here and try that on flatland. Alright guys, this thing seems to be running pretty good. Go ahead and cut the video and I'm gonna run back to the house and we're gonna check that top speed. Okay gang, I'm back. Got the bike back up on the table, and that was a pretty good test run. And one thing I did notice, it did stop smoking out of the tailpipe. So like I said, that was that PB blaster just burning off, so that stopped. That's cool. And I don't think I harmed it by dry starting that sucker. Well, the first couple little tries of cranking it. But yeah, there is still a noticeable valve adjustment that needs to be done. It's ticking pretty good like a Singer sewing machine. But that noise in the crank, that little knock I was hearing, that's gone. I mean, it sounds perfectly fine now. Yeah guys, so yeah, I think it was a good purchase. You know, she's going to need some cleanup. Now, this triple tree is definitely bent. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this shock here is kind of kicked, or that one's kicked. But either way, there, it's kind of kicked back like that, you know. One is back and the other one is forward. But no big dealy. I can order those. Those are cheap. I think my guy Shane over here at Budget Scooters of Las Vegas, he has a lot of these things on deck. He parts out scooters, but guys is going out of business, so he's trying to sell all his inventory. I'm gonna go ahead and run on over there and see what I can pick up real quick, you know, and get this whole thing together. And once we got it mechanically sound, we're going to go ahead and start dressing it up, putting it back together. I'm gonna give it a great tune up and get this sucker out here online for sale. I'm sitting here, I just noticed, that's why I paused for a second. Now that's the little EGR valve. I noticed somebody's cut that off and welded that sucker. Oh, so that's great. Okay, so yeah, I didn't even really notice that there wasn't any smog equipment on this bike. All right, cool. That's something I would have done anyway myself, but okay, it's already done. This thing is going to need a really good cleanup, man. I mean, it's oily. I don't know where this oil come from. I don't know if it's coming out of the shock, because there is oil inside the shock, but for that amount, I don't know. So I'm about to pull, when I pull these shocks off, I'm gonna check that. But other than that, man, this bike is pretty good. I mean, top speed on it was 31 miles per hour. You know, legally in Las Vegas, to not have to register these things as a motorcycle, top speed has to be 30, no more than 30. But you know, 31, you should be cool. You'll get away with it. You know, I don't think a cop's gonna be out there ready to hammer you to the ground over 1 mile per hour. But hey, you never know. I am going to have to go find some bolts for the CVT cover. There are a couple missing. I never checked this kickstart. Oh, okay. The kickstart is operational. That's another plus. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going ahead and cut it here. Got to go get some more parts. I'm going to go grab some paint and stuff. And we're going to go ahead and put this bike back together, man. Give it a nice little custom paint job. I'm going to drop the seat off at somebody who knows what they're doing, because I am not that guy. With upholstery, I'm not. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I would greatly appreciate that. And I'll see you guys on the next one.